It's one thing to hear about the passing of your favorite celebrity in the news, but it's another to watch them fall right before your eyes. There have been many celebrities, from artists and musicians to sports people and martial artists, who have dropped dead in public, shocking their fans. Here are some celebrities who died live on stage, leaving a lasting impression on audiences.
Wire artist Carl Wallenda, possibly the world's best-known circus performer, fell to his death today doing an outdoor stunt in Puerto Rico.
Tiny Tim, born Herbert Corey, was an unforgettable figure in music. He was known for his high falsetto voice, ukulele in hand, and singing Tiptoe Through the Tulips with a wide-eyed grin and theatrical charm. On the evening of the 30th of November, 1996, Tiny Tim was performing at a benefit gala in Minneapolis. Although he confided to his wife that he wasn't feeling well, he insisted on going on stage because he did not want to disappoint his audience. During his signature song, Tiptoe Through the Tulips, he faltered and then told his wife, "I'm not okay," and then collapsed. Paramedics quickly attempted to resuscitate him. He was rushed to the hospital and was pronounced dead at around 11:20 p.m. This moment was haunting for many fans who saw one of their favorite stars fall right before their eyes, but not as terrifying as the celebrity who was killed live by intruders. Juan Jumalon, popularly known on air as DJ Johnny Walker, was a radio broadcaster in the Philippines whose life ended in one of the most shocking ways possible. Fans were listening to his regular program on his station, 94.7 Gold FLM Calamba, which was broadcast from his home studio. But they didn't expect that he would be shot dead live on air. The attack was brazen. A man was pretending to have an announcement to make and used that to gain entry to the studio compound early that morning. Moments into the broadcast, the gunman fired twice at Juna's head and snatched his gold necklace before fleeing with an accomplice. To make things worse, this wasn't just a normal radio show. It was being live-streamed via Facebook, so the audience couldn't imagine what they had just witnessed. Once he was killed, it triggered national outrage, especially since there have been many attacks on the press in the Philippines. In the same year, fans couldn't believe another celebrity would die live on TV, this time a Brazilian guitarist. Pedro Henrique, a 30-year-old Brazilian gospel singer and composer, tragically collapsed and died during a live performance in Feira de Santana. He was on stage at a religious event, singing one of his most popular songs, Vai Ser Tão Lindo, when he suddenly lost his balance and fell backwards in front of the band and audience. He was immediately rushed to a nearby clinic, where he was pronounced dead. They later realized that it was because of a massive heart attack. Pedro started singing at a young age, rising through church music and later pursuing his career solo. He is survived by his wife, Sulian Barreto, and their daughter, Zoe, born earlier in 2023. His death sent shockwaves through Brazil's gospel music, but the next celebrity passed away while performing in South Africa. Costa Titch, born Konstantinos Tsobanoglu, was a dynamic South African rapper, dancer, and singer whose high-energy performances made him a rising star in the Amapiano and hip-hop scenes. During his set at the Ultra South Africa Festival in Johannesburg, Costa Titch collapsed mid-performance. He appeared to stumble, but then he got back up briefly. They didn't expect he would fall again and be later pronounced dead at the age of 28. In May 2024, his family released the findings of the post-mortem. Apparently, the death was caused by a significant strain on his heart. This had caused an irregular heartbeat and a fatal seizure. He ended up with this condition because of chronic stress and exhaustion. In the same year, another beloved figure in Cuban music passed away, Juan Carlos Formel, Juan Carlos Formel, a beloved figure in Cuban music and a longtime member of the legendary band Los Van Van, passed away suddenly at the age of 59. It happened on the fateful evening of 26 May, 2023, when the band was performing at the Lehman Center for the Performing Arts in the Bronx, New York. He stepped away from his bass mid-set and collapsed. Born in Havana into a storied musical lineage, his father, Juan Formel, co-founded Los Van Van, and his grandfather was a major figure in Cuban orchestral music. He released solo material, including a Grammy-nominated album, before stepping into a central role. His death was caused by a heart attack on stage, and it shocked fans and the music community alike. But one of the major losses happened in 1973, when the famous actor and martial artist died during acting. Bruce Lee passed away at just 32 years old in Hong Kong. Although he was working on his Hollywood breakthrough film, Enter the Dragon, his death didn't occur during a fight or stunt, but rather in the quieter, behind-the-scenes world of script discussions and downtime. According to the autopsy, the immediate cause was cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain due to excess fluid. In the hours before he collapsed, Bruce Lee had been working with his producer, reported a headache, took the painkiller, and then lay down, never waking up. But for a long time, no one could understand why he passed away, especially since he was very fit. The most common explanation was that he was reacting to the painkiller sedative he took after getting a headache. Others say he had a condition called hyponatremia, but what most people didn't know was that a few years later, his son passed away the same way. Brandon Lee. 20 years after Bruce Lee died, his son, Brandon Lee, was another famous celebrity who died right on stage. He was filming one of the last scenes of his movie in Wilmington and walked into a doorway carrying props. Suddenly, a co-actor fired a revolver at him. The weapon was supposed to be loaded with a blank, but what the crew didn't know was that there was a bullet tip from a dummy round that had become lodged in the barrel. When the blank was fired, it sent that fragment right into his abdomen with deadly force. Despite rushed surgery and heroic efforts, Brandon was pronounced dead several hours later. The incident sent shockwaves through Hollywood, and fans couldn't believe that their favorite actor would pass away right in front of their eyes. But what happens when a celebrity suddenly passes away and everyone thinks it's part of the show? Tommy Cooper. Tommy Cooper, the larger-than-life Welsh comedian and magician, was known for his trademark red fez and bumbling trick style. Suddenly, he met a dramatic and tragic end while performing live on television. That evening, Tommy was appearing on the variety show Live from Her Majesty's at Her Majesty's Theatre in London, broadcast live to millions across the UK. During a sketch, he suddenly collapsed, clutching the curtain and falling backwards. Ironically, the audience was used to his comedic mishaps that he usually staged, and so they erupted in laughter, believing that the collapse was part of the act. But behind the scenes, the producers and crew quickly realized something was terribly wrong. They rushed to the stage and found out that Tommy was suffering a massive heart attack. Despite all the efforts, he was pronounced dead once he arrived at the hospital. The audience was horrified when they finally realized that he had actually passed away. And this was the same with our next celebrity, who is one of Japan's top wrestlers. Mitsuharu Misawa, widely celebrated as one of Japan's greatest professional wrestlers, died on June 13, 2009, during a live tag team match at the Hiroshima Green Arena. He was teaming with Go Shiozaki against Akitoshi Saito and Bison Smith when the match took a tragic turn. It was meant to be a routine belly-to-back suplex, but they didn't expect that Misawa was lying motionless in the ring. The medics attempted CPR, and he was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead. The cause of his death was a catastrophic cervical spinal injury, which separated the first and second vertebrae. This eventually caused cardiac arrest. His passing was a shock to the entire wrestling world, but the next celebrity who died, live on stage, was a famous stuntman, Karl Wallenda. Karl Wallander was the iconic figure of the high-wire troupe known as the Flying Wallendas. He met a dramatic and tragic end at the age of 73, when he was doing one of his many stunts in front of the world. Despite his decades of daredevil high-wire exploits and heart-stopping stunts, he tried a promotional walk strung between the twin towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel. During the walk, a gust of wind caught him as he got to the middle of the span. The balancing pole lowered, and then he tried to slump forward on the wire, as if trying to sit or steady himself. Then, he suddenly lost his grip and fell about 10 stories to the pavement below, instantly passing away. This was his final show and remained unforgettable in the eyes of celebrities. But our next celebrity led the drag community before she collapsed mid-show. Valencia Prime. Valencia Prime was a vibrant and beloved presence in Philadelphia's drag community and hosted her own live showcase, Prime Time. She was a self-identified trans woman and affectionately billed as Philadelphia's plus-size dancing diva. On September 12, 2022, while performing at the Taboo Lounge and Sports Bar in Center City's Gayborhood, Valencia collapsed mid-show. Paramedics quickly stepped in, and she was rushed to Jefferson Hospital. Her sudden passing sent shockwaves through the drag and LGBTQ+ community in Philadelphia. But just imagine a crocodile hunter passing away, not from crocodiles, while live on TV. Steve Irwin was an iconic Australian conservationist known as the Crocodile Hunter, but he tragically lost his life in 2006 while filming a documentary on the Great Barrier Reef. On that fateful day, Irwin was snorkeling in the shallow waters off Bat Reef near Port Douglas. Suddenly, a large stingray struck him. Its barb pierced his chest, immediately penetrating his heart and lungs, causing fatal trauma. After the attack, crew members tried to resuscitate him at sea and on nearby land, but he had passed away. His death was surprising to many viewers because he had built a global reputation for taking on dangerous wildlife like crocodiles and snakes. But this seemingly gentle sea creature is what caused his end. Meanwhile, our next celebrity suddenly passed away during a concert that honored him. Colonel Bruce Hampton. Colonel Bruce Hampton was a pioneer of the jam band scene, and he passed away on May 1, 2017, under hauntingly dramatic circumstances. On the evening of his 70th birthday, he was being honored at an all-star concert in Atlanta. During the finale, he performed an encore of the song "Turn on Your Love Light" and slowly fell to his knees on stage. At first, the audience thought that this was part of his playful persona, as he was known for his theatrics and intentional falls. But within minutes, it became clear that the collapse was real. He was rushed to the hospital and later pronounced dead of a heart attack. Gone was the man who shaped the Atlanta music scene, and it was a tragic blow to fans. But even more shocking was the drummer who died on stage on a cruise ship. Sibhashian Sibhaishan was known as the drummer for the rock band Boston and appeared on their landmark debut, Boston, and the follow-up, Don't Look Back. On March 22, 2017, while performing on the cruise ship during the Legends of Rock cruise, Hashian suddenly collapsed mid-set. Emergency responders on board applied CPR and a defibrillator, yet he could not be revived and was pronounced dead. He had been diagnosed with kidney cancer in recent months, but the immediate cause of his death was a heart attack. Fans were at least comforted because he passed away doing the very thing he loved, which was playing music live. Sib's death was shocking, but not as crazy as the next celebrity who was electrocuted on stage. Barbara Weldons. Barbara Weldons was a rising French singer-songwriter who moved from a childhood in the circus, learning acrobatics, juggling, and trapeze, to a serious career in music, studying piano and technology. In February 2017, she released her debut album, Le Grand Âge de l'Homme, which earned critical praise and highlighted her blend of chanson-style lyrics with theatrical presence. On the night of 19th July 2017, during a performance at the festival Léo Ferré in the village of Gourdon in southwestern France, Weldon collapsed mid-concert inside a church venue. At first, they thought that she had suffered a cardiac arrest, but further investigation showed that she had been electrocuted. She accidentally stepped barefoot onto a faulty piece of electrical equipment during her performance. This cut short her promising music trajectory and remained in the minds of all the fans that were watching. But for our next celebrity, the audience also thought that it was part of the show, only to realize their favorite star was dead in front of them. Dick Shawn. Dick Shawn was an American comedian and actor, known for his energetic, unconventional style and memorable roles in films like The Producers and It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. But it all went down on April 17, 1987, while performing his one-man show at the University of California. During a sketch, Shawn collapsed on stage. The audience first thought that it was part of his performance, especially since he often engaged in surreal comedy. Witnesses saw Shawn staying motionless for several minutes before staff and medical personnel intervened. When the paramedics transported him to the hospital, he was pronounced dead from a heart attack. Our next star might not have passed away in front of everyone, but he did once he got home. K.K. Krishnakumar Kunath, widely known as K.K., was a celebrated Indian playback singer whose versatile voice graced songs across Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Marathi, and Bengali languages. It happened on the evening of 31st May, 2022. Once he got home, he returned to his hotel, where he complained of unease and collapsed from a massive cardiac arrest. He was declared dead once he arrived. According to the autopsy, KK had an 80% blockade in his left main coronary artery and multiple smaller blockages in other arteries. Doctors said that the high intensity of the concert and his underlying heart condition caused the event. His sudden passing sent shockwaves through the Indian music community and among his legion of fans, but the next celebrity who died live on TV was the key figure behind the rise of Louis Armstrong. Lillian Armstrong. Lillian Armstrong, often called Lil Hardin, was a powerhouse in early jazz. She was a pianist, composer, band leader, and a key figure behind the rise of Louis Armstrong. Over the 1920s and 1930s, she played an instrumental role. She worked with Joe King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band, recording alongside Louis Armstrong with Hot 5 and Hot 7 sessions. Later on, she led her own group and recorded as a solo artist. Her compositions, such as Just for a Thrill and Struttin' with Some Barbecue, remain influential. Tragically, on August 27, 1971, just weeks after Louis Armstrong's death, Lillian collapsed at the piano during a televised memorial concert in Chicago. During the performance, she suffered a massive heart attack and died en route to the hospital. It was like a public tribute that turned into a personal finale. Even the king of Rumba rock passed away in public, live on stage. Papa Wemba was one of Africa's most influential musicians and was often hailed for his new blend of Congolese rumba, soukous, and modern world music elements. On April 24, 2016, while headlining the urban music festival FIMUA in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, he collapsed on stage during his performance and was later pronounced dead at age 66. Video footage from the event shows Papa Wemba slumping behind his dancers mid-song before festival medics rushed to his aid. Despite his flamboyant style and global success, his final performance sent shockwaves through the African music world. While this was a major loss for Africa, the next celebrities who passed away left fans completely devastated. Goodbye to Gravity, the Romanian metalcore band. Goodbye to Gravity was founded in Bucharest in 2011 and rose through the local scene with a signature heavy sound and a major label deal in 2015. In the evening, while celebrating the release of their album Mantras of War with a free show at the Collective nightclub in Bucharest, a catastrophic fire broke out. In the chaos that followed, two of the band's guitarists were killed on site, and both the drummer and bassist later succumbed to their injuries. The vocalist was the only sole surviving member. The death toll among concertgoers and club staff would eventually climb to over 60, making it one of Romania's deadliest peacetime tragedies. This was a devastating loss for many, but it was just as shocking as the celebrity who was shot while performing for fans. Christina Grimmie. On June 10, 2016, 22-year-old Christina Grimmie, who had first gained fame posting YouTube covers and later placing third on The Voice in 2014, was performing a concert in Orlando, Florida, when a routine moment turned tragic. After the show, Grimmie stayed in the venue to sign autographs for fans. Suddenly, a 27-year-old man named Kevin James Loibel, who had been waiting in line, approached her and suddenly pulled out a firearm and opened fire at close range. Grimmie was hit multiple times and later succumbed to her wounds at the hospital. The shooter then turned the gun on himself. Grimmie isn't the only celebrity that was shot live on stage, as our final star also faced this and passed away. Dimebag Darrell was a legendary figure in heavy metal, celebrated for his ferocious guitar work. On December 8, 2004, during a show at the Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, he was murdered on stage. The band had only started their set when a 25-year-old gunman named Nathan Gale climbed on stage and opened fire with a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Dimebag was hit multiple times, with 5 shots fired into his head, and he died instantly. In the chaos that followed, 3 other people were also killed, and several more were wounded before a police officer intervened and shot the assailant. These celebrities died live on stage, leaving fans shocked at what they had just witnessed. Which of these celebrities shocked you the most when they passed away? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. So, thanks for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.